So the next poem, I was asked to read at a gallery in Chicago that was hosting an exhibit of the British artist Rebecca Warren. So this is based on one of her pieces, sort of in the voice of one of her pieces. It's called, and she's a sculptor, Girl 38. I'd suspected one of my breasts had wandered off, but didn't mind, didn't notice the nipple poking its eye from my ass until you asked me the name. We call it racing, or we call it talk. We call it a body, or we call it home. I don't know the difference, if there is a difference, so say nothing and wear the extra feet as a necklace. High heels dangling like long pink teeth. A swarm of 1-inch gibbering harps orbits what's left of my limbs. I miss them, even when they're here. Cybergeddons. A woozy relic live streams a private apocalypse. You try to forget the womb's tundras, their skyward expanding cemeteries. Try to be the technician of flammable whammies. Try the mission alligator, the almost inevitable audible pineapple. The sand collects in ears, the beach burrows ravenous eyebrows. Even if everything is tired, I still want this, some breath, an unbroken, gunnable, yes. I usually can pronounce that. I don't know, long journey today. The next poem is a pantoum, so you will notice some repeating lines. Autobiography, Pink Remix. Everyone's childhood was swallowed by a whale. Inside the belly, we dreamed of a future where we'd speed miles underground through the veins of a snoring giant princess named New York. Inside the belly, we dreamed of a future where Manhattan would become us, but we would be a snoring giant princess named New York, shiny with orange drizzle and telepathic streetlights. Manhattan would become us, but we would be made out of the flames of other spiraling cities, shiny with orange drizzle and telepathic streetlights. Our livers, Chicago. Our ankles, pure LA. Made out of the flames of other spiraling cities, our noses would be the dirty canals of Berlin. Our livers, Chicago. Our ankles, pure LA. Skin, the color of mannequins. Eyes, black glass. Our noses would be the dirty canals of Berlin, skirting around Turkish ice cream parlors. Skin, the color of mannequins' eyes. Black glass hair lost in the mirrors of reflective birds. Skirting around Turkish ice cream parlors, we'd remember the sadness of our childhood. Hair lost in the mirrors of reflective birds. Memories found in the necks of oceanic monitors. We'd remember the sadness of our childhood, how we slept alone for so many years. Memories found in the necks of oceanic monitors. Everyone's childhood swallowed by a whale. I'm just going to read one more from this and then a few newer poems. Poem for my 39th birthday. And I wrote this sort of a few years ago. So it was sort of before, I feel like it was before Miley Cyrus, did the MTV Music Video Awards. So I feel like she had a different semiotic meaning back then, but that's fine. I was thinking, should I change it? But I like the name, so I'm keeping it. And I heard on the radio today that she might be, I guess she's trying to get the role of Dolly Parton in the biopic, so that her semiotic meaning will change again. Poem for my 39th birthday. I am not brave, despite being poor, and Miley Cyrus does not give me advice on whining techniques or glitter, glamouresque eyeshadow use, despite my Twitter pleadings with her. To be honest, complaining comes naturally to me, like reindeer ornaments come naturally to aqua-tinseled trees. I'm not kidding you when I marvel at the appeal of sleep, how I never grow tired of it, despite so many hours lost under its spell. What I love most is to feel all the pillows congregating under me from both sides of the bed, and to feel the sun not too warm on one side of my face when I fall asleep on the ocean blue picnic blanket and with my wallet bundled safely under my ribs. Unfortunately, most days I'm a little too awake to be completely myself. The city is an obese rabbit that lives in my chest, slurping my veins with its mile-long tongue, chewing my heart with its saw-toothed robot brain tumor. And the laundry machine is, a laundry machine. It's always quacking at me. Quack, 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 until I whack it in the mouth with quarters. My editor was offended that I was being mean to rabbits or maligning rabbits. I didn't tell you, she collects rabbits. She's obsessed with rabbits. She's like, why did the rabbit get so mean? Because I have another rabbit at the beginning of the book that's like a nice rabbit. And she was like, maybe it shouldn't be a rabbit. I'm like, it's a rabbit. It's, not all rabbits are nice.
Somebody posted a thing on Facebook today of a duck sleeping on a blanket and snoring. And I'm here to tell you, I think you ought to include the duck.
You think the duck?
The duck is a really obnoxious. I never knew.
Well, Donna thought that the laundromat, the duck or something, but I'm like, it's kind of implied if I say quack that the laundry machine is a duck. I don't think I need to say the laundry machine is a duck. Those are some newer poems. Some of these aren't actually, a couple of these are not new, but they kind of got moved into this newer manuscript, because I have a new manuscript. It's not the book. The book that's coming out is very contemporary, and the manuscript I'm working on is more mythical. How long have I been? What time did I start? I don't know. I measured it out. It seemed like the right amount of time. So, hexagon. Susan thought Bobby would fall in love with her when she wore her tutu decorated with toy tarantulas. But Bobby was busy sewing a ball gown the color of music, hoping that when he wore it, Billy would love him. Billy wore a cape with boxing gloves attached, but they were too small for his bulbous palms, and he wasn't sure who he wanted to punch. Liza said she wanted to be punched. She was wearing a nightgown that made her look like a melting snowman, and blue leggings printed with blood-colored stars. But who did the fabric love? What about the thread encircling her pudgy thighs? What color shadow did her left elbow secretly desire? Who would her buttons twist for? What shape could dampen those lips?